hit him ASAP.
When it comes to every opponent, you have to respect them. What's one thing you need to respect about Diego?
His ability to put his jiu-jitsu together with his cardio. He has just a non-stop pressure going forward. And I fought at 170 for a reason. That bringing that power down. Like Wonder Boy's punches compared to his punches, I'm getting a different spot. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I felt the power. There's not much he can do backing me up wise. He's not going to be stronger and bigger than me. It's a fun fight.
Anthony, it's 2020. Phoenix was 10 years ago, 2010. The Showtime kick.
Sheesh.
So much has changed in that time. I'm wondering, how has your relationship changed with the sport, and how have you changed in that 10 years?
Oh my God, I just talked about it. So like my 13 years as a professional right now, there's so many stages of that career. This camp, I actually looked back and watched all my old interviews, fights and stuff.
You never did.
Never, no, I didn't have time. Like I was in the trenches. I was trying to fucking fight the next guy in line.
Sure.
But this time I broke my foot. I sat back. I was like, I'm not gonna get out of fighting, so I need to watch film. I started watching film, started watching myself. I saw the stages of my career, man, where I loved the sport, where I was happy to be here, where I was resentful because I was not going my way, where I was just here for a paycheck, where I was trying to fight big. I saw so many stages of my career, and it's just crazy how it happens, man. I think anybody who does a job for 10 years, you're going to have stages of it.
Well, you talk about those stages in your career. We've spoken many times over that 10 years, and for whatever reason, it always seems like it was after a loss. And after each loss, you always said, well, I was feeling myself a little too much. I was in love with myself a little bit too much. Has that changed, and how do you get on the other side of that? Like, how do you try to stay grounded and not let those, I guess, I don't want to say demons, but those feelings pop back up?
No, it's not that I was feeling, I wouldn't say it was like I was in my own, believing my own hype. I wouldn't say that at all. I would say the attraction to the mental side was gone. Like I wasn't studying my opponents and studying my movements and my techniques. I was getting such good success sparring against lower level guys that I'm like, I'm better than these guys. I'm gonna go in and just do that in the octagon. And it's that mental disconnect, that's the little details that wins fights.
So what flipped the switch for you? What mentally brought you on the other side of that?
The Wonder Boy camp. So the Wonder Boy camp, I saw how if I just stayed true to my game plan, I can beat somebody that I was supposed to lose against. I mean, if you see the fight, I broke my nose.
Yeah.
He hit me with some good stuff. I stayed true, hands high, low kicks. I saw his legs go together. Me and Duke trained that. And then Diaz's fight, switching stances, throwing bombs, like it was just a mental loss. And then I'm looking back at all my fights. The fights that I was losing, you could see the mental break. And then it goes to throwing bombs. Tony Ferguson, haymaker, overhand right, break my hand. But I was getting them before that, and I just broke my mental aspect. So training that when the fire turns on to stay mentally sharp.
Well, it definitely does seem like you are different in that regard, at least in some level. So with that said, how is 2020 going to be different? What sort of goals do you want to accomplish in this year ahead, and really this decade ahead, because you're going to be one of those fighters that's fighting in multiple decades?
Damn, that's crazy. That's wild.
Well, you started early.
Yeah, this year, mental. I want to stay mentally sharp. I want to just stay in my own head because, like, usually I'll do a fight, go on my vacay, and take my time off, and who's next? And it's like always like the same. I made it like it was just the same thing, make some money, go do what's next, and same thing. This time, I attached myself to a result, a mental thing that I could actually measure. And I'm teaching other fighters this. Like, I'm showing my brothers, I'm showing Manny Sanchez, like look at these details that I'm attaching, that I'm showing you that this is how you want to fight. And they're like, man, I never heard it explained that way. And it's just, I know a lot about fighting, man.
It just sounds like you're maturing, really.
Yeah, very much.
Anthony, you mentioned earlier this week about you're taking USADA to a legal case because your hand was cut right before a fight. Obviously, business-wise and stuff like that, it's very frustrating. But personally, how annoying is it to be about to fight and something like as crazy and outrageous as that to happen?
I mean, I'm not supposed to talk about details, but it's like one of them things that everybody knows. The USADA rules are in place, and we have to take that piss test, and we're the only ones allowed to touch that bottle. So whether nothing comes out of it, that's not I didn't go and cry about it, like, oh, that's why I lost. Like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm just saying something needs to change. Like, that happened. No fighter should ever go through that in the back before a fight. So that's just it.
How many fights do you have left on your UFC contract, if you're able to share that?
I don't know, honestly. I think I just signed, my last one was like a 6-fight deal. I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know.
I saw a video with Full Reptile where they were suggesting, Paul Felder was suggesting you were interested in a Dan Hardy fight if he was interested in coming back. Is that true?
Well, he called me out. Yeah, I'm like, if someone calls me out, I'm interested, yeah. So he's been around for a long time, 170, so it's something I could easily do. And I think he was saying New York City in March, so hell yeah.
In the main event, Donald Cerrone and Conor McGregor are going to meet. They had this weird sort of relationship where they've been connected for 5 years, sort of in and out, and it was going to happen, wasn't going to happen. You, interestingly, is quite similar to Conor McGregor. You've been linked to him a number of times, and it's never quite happened. Do you look at this fight in the main event and think, like, oh, that could have been me, or are you just happy for Cowboy to get an opportunity like this?
Yeah, bro. In fighting, you're supposed to fight who you're fighting in front of. Like, it's not like Oh, so that's supposed to be me. I don't. That's not my game at all. I'm happy for Cowboy. It's awesome to see him get that opportunity, and the way Conor is treating it, I love it, man. It's about respect. It's about martial arts. We all know they're gonna fight on Saturday, so all the rest of the stuff is unnecessary.
So the quote about their blood will be spilled, but it won't be bad blood, is that exactly what you want from MMA fighters? That sort of mentality, a fight but no ill will.
Well, I mean, if you're not good at trash talking, don't talk trash. Like Conor's good at it, so like it's entertaining, it's fun. But then you get all these guys trying to follow his lead, and they don't know how to trash talk, and it's just like sounds stupid. So I'm like, be yourself. If that's who you are, that's who you are. But it's cool to see Conor growth. I think he's what he was talking about, his maturity level, taking care of himself. I'm on the same thing, so I love it.
When you talk about bad trash talkers, who do you have in mind?
I can't give no examples, but like the guys that say something and it's just like flies off people's heads.
You are one of the best strikers in the UFC, especially at 170 and 155. Main event, I'm sure you've been asked already, but give us a prediction. Who do you see taking the win on Saturday?
I fought Cowboy and I chose to fight him southpaw for a reason. I saw holes in his game. I'm sure Cerrone, Conor sees the same thing. But the later the fight goes, the more chance Cowboy has. Cowboy's underrated on the ground for sure. I heard him say he's not going to wrestle him, so we'll see what happens.